Well, you know, everybody, they say, has to have a hobby. And so one of the things I have done since I was a little tiny chap was collect ball cards. And this is Gary. This is Sugar Bears in Cleveland, Tennessee, my dear friend for years, many years. And he has a shop here, and he has really the best prices anywhere I've ever been if you're a ball card collector. And I'm going to tell something we got here. I've never publicly talked about it, but I'm going to put it on YouTube right here. And so what happened was, there's two stories I want to tell. Right up here, he had a box of cards one day, and it was a $40 box. You remember this? And it was baseball. And he said, you know, there's a Mickey Mantle card in here. There's a Mickey Mantle card that's a 1-of-1 signed by Mickey Mantle, the great ball player from the Yankees. And he said, it's not been found yet. And I laughed and said, yeah, I bet it's in this box right here. And I laughed. So I'd come back a week later. Sometimes I'll just come and hang out just to talk to Gary. We'll hang out. And he said, you know, you ought to get that box, man. You might get that Mantle card. This is a true story, isn't it? So it sat there for weeks. A guy come in and said, let me get that box. He opens it up and he pulls, tell him what he pulls, the 1-of-1 Mickey Mantle card that everybody in the United States, and what was the price on it?
It was an Upper Deck Diamond collection.
Upper Deck Diamond, but what was it worth about? What was it worth?
At the time, probably, $25,000.
$25,000. So sports card collecting is interesting. And so years ago, this has been 3 years ago maybe, I came into Gary's shop, you know, and like I said, one of the things I've done for years is I collect sports memorabilia. I've got a football signed by Nick Saban and Tua Tagovailoa, an Alabama ball when he was a freshman. So see, that's really good. Because if he goes to the pros, you know, that's a historical football. So I've always enjoyed this just as a hobby. I don't hunt, I don't fish, I don't have time to tell you the truth. So I come in here one day and we went to, I think it was Playoff Contenders, and I opened a box and I pulled a 1-of-1, and people don't even know where this is.
No.
And this is the first time I've ever said it, but we have it locked up in a vault. I pulled a 1-of-1 Aaron Rodgers signed rookie. Remember?
Right.
And
sure do.
Those sell for $15,000 to $25,000 and maybe more to a Rodgers fan. So I had it graded at Beckett. It graded at 9.0, which is a high grade. 9.0 to 9.5 is considered, 9.5 is the best. So I wanted you to know that I've pulled about 8 1-of-1 cards in this shop. This little shop in Cleveland. Now I understand that everybody's not thrilled about that. Probably 90% of people don't collect anything. But for those people who collect, I think you'll find that very interesting. But this is one of those kind of like side hobbies that we do. And I started collecting when I'm a kid. And it's just something that's fun to do. And then after sometimes I'll bring cards down here to Gary and I say, Gary, sell these cards, you know. And so I have a real good sports collection of memorabilia that's signed by different people. And so I wanted to do this and just share something with you for those of you that enjoy sports and you like, signatures and things like that. And he's got here, look at that, there's a Jack Dempsey, right. There's the Atlanta Braves, number of the Braves. Is that Yogi Berra?
Yogi Berra, Nolan
okay.
Ryan.
And you've got certificates of probably all this, don't you?
Well, those I do.
Al Klein.
Klein.
Oh, look at it, Nolan Ryan. And again, no sports people who are not people that are not in sports. This doesn't mean anything, but these are very, very famous names. And then he also has, and I thought this is interesting, cabinets here in which like all cards in this showcase $30. Where there's one worth $15, $12, $6. That's probably, what'd you say, about $100 worth of cards maybe? But you can get them all for $30. So I'm not doing this for any other reason that we were just here today. Nathan is with me. And I thought, hey, let's just do a YouTube about sports and sports memorabilia because there's a lot of sports fans out there. And it's a fun thing. And so these are some cards I had him sell. So we sold a whole bunch of Mickey Mantle cards. But this is one of mine. This is a Ted Williams. Got this from a guy in Maryland 30 years ago. And, so for you guys that like sports cards, this is the box. I'm going to take this little box home or somewhere, put it up. So, Gary, thank you, man. Always good to see you. Hang in there.
Thanks, sir.
Roll Tide. No, you won't say that. You won't say Roll Tide. That's my wife. Roll Tide. My bird, I got a parakeet that says, Roll Tide. It's like, everybody comes in and says, no, go Vols. We try to get the bird to say other things, you know. Thank you, and thank you for joining us. And hope you just kind of enjoyed a little kind of what we call behind the scenes, off the beaten path, side moment.